Hey guys, Dan here. This is going to be Big Think 2, and this topic I've chosen is wealth. A pretty substantial one, considering everyone's always chasing that bag, everyone's always on their grind set, everyone's trying to focus on how much money they can make, the crazy lifestyles that they can live, and on the opposite spectrum of the chase is also the motivation of fear if you live paycheck to paycheck. If you can't pay the bills, if you can't put food on the table, if you can't afford to bring yourself out of poverty. And I think that's what makes this a big topic. It's worth a big think. And I want to discuss two different types of wealth. I want to talk about private, or what you would consider personal wealth, and then communal wealth, national wealth, GDP, global wealth. And basically, what those two can be broken down as is personal wealth, your own accumulation of money, assets, and the such to achieve the lifestyle you are after, which is, I think that's really what's on most people's mind. And you should. I mean, you should consider, yourself first. You need to look after your own survival, frankly. What I like to refer to it as is sustainment. Can I continue to live the way I am with the choices I make about spending and things I get for myself and things I get for others? And am I able to afford that? Okay, great. If I have moved into a part of my life where I can make money that allows me to live like that, that's massive. That's huge. Now, at a certain point, it becomes a bit frivolous and wasteful, I think. I believe people should, if they're immensely successful, they should treat themselves. They should live good lives. But just speaking from the sense of not the talking point of like, well, you can only have so much money and then everything else you have left, you have to donate or, eat the rich. Like, I don't believe in that. Though I think lifestyle should be tempered. I think people should focus on spending especially when you have an amount of money that exceeds what you even care to have. You should look towards using that for more productive things, helping other people, and what we're moving into really is the topic of communal wealth, which is the money that you don't receive directly into your pocket. That really is like, for instance, again, why eat the rich is such a stupid thing. Businesses create jobs. It creates an ability for people to earn a wage that basically take very little risk to work for these businesses. And what that does is usually that business provides a service for the community. And in that service is a certain type of wealth. It's communal wealth. It's national wealth. It's global wealth. It's helping people. It's not necessarily charity, but it's providing sustainment and beyond for the community at large. And simultaneously is providing the selfish interest of personal wealth, of can I put food on my table? Now, before I veer too far off topic about personal wealth, I think it's very important to have the discussion of what I would call like ethical capitalism. I'm not a left-wing communist or anything, but there is something very important to note about ethics regarding money. Like most people live their lives according to their means, and sometimes people don't. So, but that's a different story. That's probably about debt, which I might cover at another time. But once you live within your means, you should place consideration, just based on ethics, for how you're helping other people, like ethically. Look at what your city's like. Look at organizations in your cities that are nonprofit. Look at government. Look at these institutions that exist to help people who sometimes are trying to help themselves but have difficulty doing so. And I take no pity on people who can help themselves and decide not to. That's kind of where we veer into the territory of like, okay, I'm a little utilitarian in that mindset. There are people who really don't deserve help because they've denied it so many times and they refuse to help themselves. But yeah, so you have a lot of money, you're making a lot of money, and the thing you'll see with a lot of like billionaires and things is, again, they have been in the mindset of accruing personal wealth their whole lives, and they completely neglect the communities. They don't reinvest it in the business to help their employees. They don't reinvest it into into helping their country, like for instance. And I think where we can actually find some pretty ethical capitalism, and some people might hate me, is someone like Elon Musk. He's a very prime example of, I would call, ethical capitalism. This guy, say what you want about what he says or what he's done politically, almost all of his ventures and endeavors have been literally out of a lack of selfishness. He's caught on to ideas and innovated and worked on projects that quite literally is sending humanity in a very optimistic direction. We have, through him, now you could argue Tesla was founded by other people, but through him, Tesla's become a giant. And electric cars, ironically, the thing the left has been pushing for a very long time, have become very, very mainstream because of Tesla, because of the success of how generally reliable and cool electric cars are. Now, that's innovation that's definitely he's profiting from, but it's also innovation that helps the environment. It saves people money. Gasoline's not cheap, okay? And it's a very limited resource. However, generation of electricity, a little bit different, a lot cheaper. And that's huge. And I haven't even touched on SpaceX. SpaceX, hello, going to the stars, making it cheap, making it safe. Wow, like that's huge. SpaceX is basically has dug itself a hole because it relies on investment, and they're not really making too much money. To my knowledge, it's not like a profiteering endeavor. So that's a great example. On the flip side, the thing that isn't good, the thing where we get into unethical capitalism, everyone's favorite punching bag, Jeff Bezos. So created Amazon, pretty good benefits to society in general. What has he done with Amazon? Amazon has basically what? They acquired Twitch. His company Blue Origin exists. He's kind of mimicked Elon Musk, but has missed the entire freaking point. And it's that these are, again, it's mimicry. He's not doing it because he has a vision for the future where mankind is prosperous, right? So he's investing in these projects because it's a profiteering endeavor. Twitch hasn't gotten better. Amazon has stayed the same. Amazon will continue to make crazy amounts of money because it's like, okay, you pioneered a service, good for you. And then employment for Amazon is atrocious. They are known for significant violations of like worker worker rights and things like that. So this guy doesn't really care about the world he inhabits. He focuses on his own personal hedonistic acquisition of wealth to chase his desires and wants, and that's it. It's very selfish because I think once you've fulfilled a certain basic level of that, you should be considering what your actions, and especially when someone that much power and influence that comes with the kind of money he makes, you should try to help more of other people than yourself. I mean, for fuck's sakes, build a legacy, you know? So that's super important. And that really boils down to the main point of the topic. What is the point of acquiring wealth beyond sustainment and, some little treats there for yourself, some nice things, some luxuries in your life? What is the point of acquiring wealth if you don't plan on uplifting, first off, obviously, beyond yourself, your family, your community, your town, your city, your state, your nation, or even a smaller niche group, maybe your political organization, or maybe, maybe you have an activist thing. Maybe you want to help veterans, maybe you want to send money to, a Legionnaire post. Maybe you want to donate it to, kids going to school, help families out for school season. It's there's something inherently wrong with a person who just looks inward when it comes to the acquisition of wealth, of money, of anything really. I think it's a very inhumane thing when you see that you have something in abundance and you don't want to share it after you've fulfilled yourself. It's gluttonous behavior. It's greed. Don't be so absorbed in the rat race, Don't be absorbed in just making money for the sake of making money and making the number in your bank account go higher. I think that's a really bad trap people get into, because life isn't about that number. Life is about what you do, and making number higher isn't a thing. That's not doing anything for anyone. So yeah, you don't, when you exit this world, you don't get to keep it. So, make a difference with that. Make a difference with this blessing. Maybe you're really good at something and you've made a decent chunk of change. Maybe you're not really great at something. Maybe you're just working a steady job and you don't spend that much. Make a difference. Do something with it. Praise people like Elon. Elon's doing something great. I didn't even mention X. For the love of God, X is a very free platform now. It is not just an echo chamber. It is lucrative, and he's liberated free speech on the platform. That's significant. That's like almost a loss for him. Like, he didn't gain anything from this. Again, I don't want to get too political, but another point, Trump, he paid for his own campaign, I think multiple times, at least the first time. And then people are like, oh, he's tearing down the, the West Wing, East Wing, I can't remember. He's tearing this thing down to build a ballroom. And they're like, oh my God, especially nowadays, we don't have any money. The government shut down and the world's falling apart. He spent his own money to do it. Now, is he a bit of a selfish, kind of self-absorbed guy? Because he's going to build it in his own vision, and then he kind of wants to be immortalized as the guy who made the beautiful White House ballroom. Sure, maybe. But ultimately, he's doing something great for the American people. He's going to build something beautiful. And one final point. Everyone, take a look at the Renaissance. What happened when trade and wealth and things were kind of going great. Okay, you got something like the Renaissance. You quite literally had families in Italy that were so powerful and so rich that they literally got bored doing all the other things rich people did in that time, which was just, gorging themselves in political affairs and wars and other things to get into. And they started funding the arts. And then we saw this explosion of artistry and beauty and magnificence that we have basically yet to recreate. And this was because there were people who felt humanity would benefit from the arts. And they wanted to see places like, for example, Venice, Florence, be beautiful, be a beautiful city to walk in. So that when they had other families visit or other people visit, that they were in awe and impressed by the magnificence of their contributions, possibly for selfish, self-absorbed reasons. Oh, it's my contribution, but who cares? Because it's beautiful. The city's beautiful because of what they did with their wealth, and they created a better world and a better society for it. So, next time you get that paycheck and you feel like things are going well, maybe donate. Find a charity. Start a business. Even a small one on the internet, Find something to benefit society. Say, what can I do with this that helps people? And that's a wonderful thing. That's humanity. So give in to that impulse and do it. Don't be scared. Don't think, oh, well, I might hit hard times. Save some, but also think about how you're investing in your own future, your children's future, and your community's future. Think about that. And with that, I rest my case. Thanks for watching.